Hello and welcome. Cowboy knows what's up. It's gonna be epic. Welcome to Rock Players. I'm back from being on holiday from this show for a few weeks. Last week we did a special one because it was BG3 release date. Can't do anything else than BG3 and BG3 release date. But yeah, we have quite a lot of things lined up to talk about, and as always, we have some lovely guests. First of all, Ray, welcome back from Hawaii.
Yeah, man. I actually met a fellow gamer that I met online, Primo.
Oh, right. He lives over there.
Our hotel was actually, I think his house was like 6 minutes away. So I went over his house and had barbecue with him, and it was great. He's a really awesome dude. Awesome.
Yeah, Primo's great.
Yes.
Too bad he has lives so in such a different time zone that he can never join the show. I've asked him several times, but he can't really make it.
That's like, it's weird. It's weird how everybody's already like their day has already went through, and it's just started.
Yeah, Phoenix. It's too many holidays, but it's fine. It's the end of summer now. Everything's going back to normal. Don't worry about it. Yeah. And welcome, Matthias. Long time no see. Lovely to have you back.
Thank you.
Finally.
Yeah.
It's been you've had a busy summer as well, right? Traveling around and
not really. It's been frankly one of the worst vacations ever this summer. 4 weeks of rain.
Yeah, it's been bad weather.
Storm.
That's true.
Yeah, terrible. And I was supposed to go down to a place called Varberg this week, but the trains have been cancelled and everything, so I'm stuck at home.
We had there was here in Sweden a couple of hours north of Stockholm. There was a derailing of a train due to the massive storm that we're having. So it's not great right now in the weather.
Nah,
but at least we're not Norway. Norway has it even worse. I've seen videos from there of like houses being drifted away by overflowing waters, and it's a mess.
That's a shit vacation if your house gets towed away by water.
Oh yeah, and it crashed into a bridge and the roof just got absolutely mauled. It's crazy over there. So I mean, we've had some really shitty weather and storms in the last couple of weeks, but at least we're not Norway.
Yeah, I've been inside playing Baldur's Gate, so it's been okay.
Yeah, I agree. Baldur's Gate can make everything better. It's like
I heard it's one of your favorite games ever. Apparently,
yeah, I dub it the best game I've ever played in my life. And I'm not more than like 10 hours in, but still, like it's definitely the best game I've played ever. Which is quite high praise. I understand that, but I do think so. It is incredible. So I've also been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate, obviously, but also did squeeze in a little bit of Stray Gods last night. Tried to stream it and had technical difficulties, and then I had an on-call alarm, so I had to stop streaming and start working for like 30 minutes, and then kept playing a little bit by myself. It's a really good game. We'll talk more about it as we go deeper into the show, but Stray Gods is great. But yeah, so we'll also have Kirk joining us in a second. He's just getting some technical difficulties sorted out. But in the meantime, let's see what's been happening in the news, shall we? First of all, we have, let's see, that's the window we should share. As always, GFN out first because they remind me nice and well with sending me an email every week with the news. Haven't gotten the others to do that just yet. So they have a bunch of games coming, and I realize this is last week's. There's still a bunch of games coming. That's last week's news.
I can say one thing there. I've been playing probably 7-8 hours of Baldur's Gate 3 on GeForce Now. I did a video on that for my channel, how it plays on the Ally, and it's absolutely fantastic. It runs great.
I've also been playing pretty much all of it. There we go. I cheesed for some reason the blog post isn't showing on their website, but I cheesed it, changed the dates in the link, and now it works.
You're such a hacker, Bjorn.
Yeah, hacks. No, yeah, I agree. Like it's I've played a little bit on Boosteroid and Shadow just to try it out. But yeah, GFN, like there's no difference really for me in how they perform. They all perform great. But yeah, I agree. Like the 4K streams on GFN for BG3 is just incredible. And for all of you who maybe can't stop playing, it runs surprisingly well. Playing it with the touch overlay touch controller overlay on mobile. I've actually played most of my sessions that way. It's not ideal, but it's perfectly playable, which is kind of insane to be playing Baldur's Gate on your phone.
You need a handheld.
I do. But it's one of those, like, the kids wanted to watch some kids show for 30 minutes after lunch. I'm like, yeah, sure, and then pop it up on my phone in the meantime. It's a bit a bit inconspicuous to be able to sneak it away with your phone compared to a handheld. A handheld, they would be like, what are you doing? Now I can be.
What are you playing?
Yeah, now I can just be on my phone in the background casually. But yeah, I agree. I do need a handheld. But yeah, so they have a challenge going on over at GeForce Now. They've partnered up with Kovac, and they have an Kovacs challenge that you can do on GeForce Now. And I think there's one of these things where that if you do play it with, I think it's down here, yeah. So if you do play it on GFN, you can then get a short trial for I think it's 3 days of Ultimate, and then try it again with Ultimate, and see if you can improve. Kovac, and like this game, because I mean technically it's a game. It's a aim an accuracy and speed and reaction time practice thing for first person shooters. That's it's a cool way to show it off, I gotta say. So it's like, if you haven't tried Ultimate, you can play it. If you play this game and don't have Ultimate, you will get 3 days of Ultimate sent to your email, I think, something like that. Have you guys tried this before? This Kovacs?
No.
Playing too much BG3, dude.
Yeah, same here. I was like, they asked me hey, you want to try it out? I was like, I don't want to commit to that right now, because I don't see myself doing anything else except Stray Gods until because that's just 6 hours until like the end of October maybe, and after that I'll have other games I want to dive into, like Starfield and City Skylines and things. SPG, you finished your run. Nice. I'm guessing you already started your next one, right? I think. Okay, SPG, let us know, how many hours did it take for you to beat BG3? Because I kind of want to know. Yeah, already.
I can tell you one thing about someone playing a lot. Is it any one of you that played Exoprimal? Did you try it?
Ray, you tried it, right? I think I remember you talking about it.
I actually watched some people play it, and I watched some streams, but no, I didn't play it.
It's absolutely fantastic. I played for, I think it was maybe 35 hours, and I'm at level 65 or something. About 8-9 days after release, this guy he passed player level 300, which is absolutely insane. It took me like 7-8 days to get to level 60-ish. That's dedication.
Yeah, that's
that is.
It's insane.
It is very insane. Like I think I did one of those. I think it was Wednesday night. I stayed up to record something, and then Tuesday night, and then I was like, was done with my thing, looked out, and I realized my wife has already gone to bed. I was like, I could play maybe an hour of BG3 now before I go, and then head to bed. 3.5 hours later, I realized I should very much head to bed now. Because I knew I had to go up at 6:30 in the morning the day after, so it was one of those like, oh, I should not have done this. It's hard to put down once you get started. Okay, so 70 to 90 hours for a regular playthrough at least. Yeah, that's pretty much what Larian said. Yeah, that's pretty much at least 2 months of gaming for me then. Yeah, looking forward to spending way more than that though in the game. The GeForce Now is not done there though. They have also added Doom Eternal to and among some other Bethesda games. So
Yeah,
it's nice to see the Xbox partnership.
Wolfenstein games they've added.
So and also Quake, classic Quake. We'll get to the full Wolfenstein as well. We'll get to the full list down below. So yeah, it's like the partnership they have with Xbox and in extension.
Kurt's waving. He's waving.
There we go. Kirk is here. Awesome. Hello. Welcome,
Hi.
Kirk. Hi.
I messed up the grid again, guys. I'm making a habit of this now. Always messing it up.
Shit happens. It's fine. But yeah, so how are you doing? What have you been playing this week?
I'm doing well. Ray might be on the same boat with me on this one, but I've been playing a ton of Marvel Snap this week. It's a new season. We just got Daken. I don't know the sort of comic book lore surrounding this character. In fact, I didn't really know that he existed, but he seems to be Japanese in origin, and he's sort of like a counterpart to Wolverine. He's got the claws that come out of his hands. And the main thing with this card is that it allows for high power scaling over the course of your last 3 turns, which I guess is very much it's very anime, right? The whole power scaling thing. So they're going a little bit with the Japan theme, and also this card is like it's a big time like wild card game changer. So I've been having a lot of fun with it, and should be doing a video about it soon. So I'm excited about Snap right now. It's a good time to be into Marvel Snap. They just had the Conquerors tournament as well, which was a bunch of YouTube creators and everything going against each other, which actually got very competitive. Well, so the way that they did it, it wasn't direct versus like that. Like it wasn't a direct tournament, but they basically said there's like this conquest thing, and there's like the top tier, which is the infinity tier, and you have to win 5 games in a row to conquer the infinity tier. And so they basically like said, all right, 20 of you, like some of the best creators out there, go do infinity tier at the same time and speed run it, like so you can get your 5 games to run at the same time. Well, inevitably, like they're all like similar MMR, so a lot of them ended up versing each other live during this like 3-hour event, and it was very, very fun to watch.
Nice.
They even had like commentators and everything. That was
they usually like after a certain amount of success, those companies take go all in with the like casters and everything. But it is nice to see. Yeah, so let's take a look here, because there's a lot of games coming to GeForce Now this week. In 21 games in 1 week. I think that's almost.
Did you guys get the Baldur's Gate 3 out of your system, or are we going to talk?
No. We're going to dive into it so many times. Don't you worry. It's I think out of the like.
Because I'm not playing it. So if you guys got it,
you'll have to.
I just want to let you know there is a lot of people playing.
Oh yeah,
right? Oh yeah. Absolutely.
We'll get into that as well. There's a news story for that even. It's gonna be so much Baldur's Gate 3 today. Sorry guys. But also at the end of today, if Kirk isn't convinced he needs to buy this game ASAP, I don't know what we're doing wrong. That's the goal of tonight. Convince Kirk to get Baldur's Gate 3 ASAP and start playing tomorrow, because it's so good. Yeah. So 21 games added to GeForce Now this week. I Am Future released 2 days ago. Atlas Fallen releases today. Orwell, Keeping an Eye on You, free on Epic Game Store. So claim that, and you can play it on GeForce Now. Sengoku Dynasty, Tales and Tactics. All of those are new releases from today or 2 days ago.
Real quick, I think Rokk is gonna have Atlas Fallen content on the channel. I might be mistaken, but watch this space if you're looking
then
for
definitely
more
good
Atlas
call.
Fallen content. Yeah.
Good call. What else we have? Then there's a bunch of games added from the Epic Game Store that already exists from other places. You have the Alien Dark Descent, Lego Brawls, Quake, but that's being added on both Epic Games and Steam. Session Skate Sim, Smallland, Survive the Wild, Super Hot. Can that? You got to do that every time you say it. Terra Invicta, and then a bunch of Wild West Dynasty as well, and Wreckfest and Xenos 2. There's a bunch of us in the community playing Wreckfest regularly, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do a Wreckfest stream on Saturday nights, but I don't do it on GeForce. I do it on xCloud.
Yeah, but it does have crossplay. It does,
But
right?
No crossplay.
No, come on, guys.
Nope,
Add
nope,
crossplay,
nope.
people.
No crossplay.
Yeah,
Killing us.
xCloud gang.
Always had crossplay. That's all I have to say. Like that, if it had crossplay, that would be awesome. Because I think Wreckfest has been. I think Wreckfest has been free to claim on the Epic in the past, right? I think I've claimed it over there.
Isn't it kind of small though? Like I would definitely say we need to hold like AAA developers to that standard of like if you don't have crossplay in your game, what are you doing? But I think Wreckfest is like smaller.
I don't know what the hell they're calling next gen, and they're not doing crossplay. Seriously. And I have a PlayStation, I have an Xbox, I have the cloud systems, I would love to play cloud with, that's why I got the other systems, because if I can't play with this friend on this system, then I have to play a game with that friend on that system. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I think it's totally natural to be able to play with other gamers, no matter what system they have. I mean, it's so obvious that all games should have it. Period. It's stupid not to have it. I mean,
unless you have some and I think in a lot of cases this is it comes down to a technical difficulty thing of you have it turns out to be harder to implement than they thought, and then you'd be like, do we delay the game with a month to add this, or do we skip it? And I think there's also been reports that I read about developers saying that Sony charges them a fee to add crossplay. And for smaller developers, that's simply not viable. But for bigger things, it should be a no-brainer.
I mean, so Sony has been last, apart from Nintendo, obviously. But if you look at PC and the next-gen consoles, Sony has been the last to get into the crossplay, and
all those
I do incentive to do it because with the implication being because they hold here. So if you're the big player and everybody 70% of gamers have your console, why would you want to play nice? So they basically were just like, we put up to like labor, like the allocation for us given like where we stand. Big wants Fortnite to be crossplay.
Tell us when the buffering stops, because
I don't holding our cups and it's
side, and there's this is happening from.
But yeah,
I think it said in the I saw pop up that your camera had low FPS, but that should be fine. Like that's just a small camera. We don't have
we'll get through it.
Yeah.
We'll get through it.
So as long as hopefully let us know when it stops, because it should sort itself out within a couple of minutes. But we'll keep going in the meantime.
I think the stream is not crossplay.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody get Sony on the phone. Yeah.
I mean, technically, the stream is very much crossplay. We're streaming to all platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Kick, and Twitch. We do have one viewer from Twitch, but the rest of are here on YouTube.
We have one Twitch viewer. Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So let's see here. Then also. They've added a bunch of Bethesda games to GeForce Now as well, and there's also awesome. The buffering is gone now. There's also a giveaway going on with SteelSeries. They give you 3-day priority membership codes that you can check out if you want to try GeForce Now.
Isn't that kind of just 3 days?
Yeah, it's very much like give it a try for like try it out once within 3 days and see if like is this for me or not.
So here's the thing. I was talking to Rokk about this, and he basically told me that, you know, that's not how it works, and I don't know anything. No, I'm kidding. He didn't say that. But he said a much more polite British version of that, because he's always a gentleman. But I was like, hey, I would totally sign up for like a month of Ultimate or something to play Baldur's Gate 3 if I could get Baldur's Gate 3 with the Ultimate sub. But the weird thing about Nvidia is, like, I've got to sub to the thing, I've got to sub to the tier, and then I've also got to go pay for the game. Like, I don't know any other platform that makes me do that. So
the funny thing is, I remember that back in the day when, like when Zeta came out, everyone was like, "Oh, you got to pay for this for the game and the sub." Like, no, but you do on GeForce Now. I mean, at the end of the day, what you're doing is basically you're renting the hardware. That's what you're doing. Like, how you gotta see it. Like, the service isn't a service for gaming; it's a service for gaming hardware.
Well, yeah, but I can buy that.
Yeah, but if you don't want to buy it, or if you want to have it, like the appeal of it is that you don't have to buy it.
The appeal is that you get to play on a 4080 or whatever, for a small fraction of the cost. Yeah, exactly.
And you can play it on any screen as well, and jump between screens and everything. So like, there's a lot of benefits to it. But at the end of the day, you're renting the hardware, so you got to bring your own games.
I'm just saying that you said you wanted to convince me to go out and get Baldur's Gate 3 tomorrow. The problem with that is that it's coming to hardware that I already own. So it's like it's a tough sell to say, Kirk, you should go subscribe to this service, and then you still don't get to play the game.
I mean, sure. If you
have to go buy the game,
if you don't have a PC or don't end up getting a PC or a cloud service in place of that PC, then of course, then wait for the PlayStation edition. It's gonna be a long and hard wait over those 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's a big gap, isn't it? It's interesting that they did that.
I mean, I think they pretty much explained it to us in one of the blog posts. It was basically like, we realized that the PS5 version need a couple of a bit more time, but we also realized the PC version is it's done, it's ready to go. Why should we just sit on it for 4 weeks if we could just put it out now? Because at the end of the day, it's like the point is for them is to bring the game out, to like get the game out to as many people as possible as soon as possible. That's all they care about, because they know they have a great game on their hands. And it's also the reason why the Xbox version isn't coming until sometime next year. It's like, oh yeah, we had some trouble getting it up to feature parity and being comfortable with releasing it. So we're just going to release it on the platform that we want when it's done. If it takes another couple of weeks or months, then that's what is going to happen. You just got to wait.
That's tough for Xbox. If I was going to put my tinfoil hat on, I would say that might be Sony might have thrown something their way.
And they've been very open with like, no, we have there's been no money being thrown. This is purely a technical thing. It's not ready.
I do trust Larian.
Yeah. Is that a bad thing? Because we did have a game a while back called Cyberpunk, and they tried to release it at the same time on everything, and you saw what happened there.
Yeah, it ran pretty bad on a couple of them, and pretty good and very good on plenty of others.
I don't know. It's weird to say that this thing is ready to go on PC right now. It's ready to go on PlayStation by 30 days from now, but Xbox is just like just postponed indefinitely. I mean, that doesn't really make sense to me. There's no way.
I rather wait to make sure that it runs proper than to have everybody playing on PC or playing on Sony and it's running well, and then have them play it on Xbox and it runs like dog shit.
Yeah,
I have to agree with Kirk, because I think you might have seen it, Bjorn, when we did the interview with Christian from DICE.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Yeah. He's a technical director at DICE, working on Battlefield and many games. And he said that in the podcast we did, he said that releasing a PC game, you develop it on PC, to release it for PlayStation or Xbox is basically down to settings. So if it runs on one platform, it runs pretty good on the others as well. So I have to agree with Kirk that something feels a bit fishy here, because somewhat the same platforms hardware-wise. So I mean, it sounds fishy.
It's got to be the Series S, right? They're worried that thing is going to chug on the
It
Series
is.
S.
I'm trying to find the exact words because they have said it straight out. The reason why. I'm trying to, I hope this link has it. I guess I'm gonna have to paraphrase because I don't think it's in here. Or no, here it is. So let's see here. The reason for the delay on Xbox is technical hurdle. They have difficulty getting the seamless split screen co-op to run on the weaker Series S. The person Larian went on to say that Larian can't just remove the split screen feature because we're obligated to launch with feature parity, so we'll just have to continue to try to make it work. So basically because Baldur's Gate 3 has 2-player split screen seamless, you can just jump in with a second player and we'll have a second screen, a split screen in the middle, play the game together on one console, and then basically to my understanding, the performance on the Series S is too bad, and they haven't found the right settings and config and optimizations to get it running on the Series S hardware
For the 2-player. The 2-player specifically?
Because one
just
player,
disable that feature on Series S.
But they're not allowed. Hard. But Xbox doesn't allow feature disparity between Series S and Series X. And the reasoning the reason for this
Spencer needs to get on the line and
then the reason
answer for his crimes.
And then the reasoning is also I think they said in another interview that it's a RAM thing because the Series S has lower RAM and the game is quite RAM hungry, especially when you do split screen because because what you can do in the game is the maps are huge and you can have one player on one side of the map and one player on the completely different side of the map. It will take them 10 minutes to just walk in the game to just meet in the middle, and they can do completely different things at once, or they can do things at the same. One of you can be talking with someone where the other one is watching, sneaking behind the back while they're distracted, is stealing all this stuff, and all those things obviously means they need to keep a lot of details in RAM at all times, so I think they're trying to figure out how can we reduce the content in RAM, which is less of maybe of a settings thing and more of a can we have lower polygon models for these things to bring down the RAM cost, for example, and things like that. So I suppose it's a bit more work than just settings in this specific case, but in general it would probably be settings.
I read somewhere someone talking about the Xbox Series S holding the X back, and I think there's some truth to that.
Yeah.
The X is a fantastic device, and the S as well, because you get so much for that kind of money. But when stuff like this happens, because it needs to run on that one, that's where we get cyberpunk situations.
Yeah, I think that Phil Spencer's going to have to make a call in the next year or so, where it's okay, do we hold firm on that line and suffer these type of losses where we don't have Baldur's Gate 3 day and date with PlayStation, or are we going to give a little and say, okay, on a case-by-case basis, we can say, sure, Baldur's Gate 3, the single-player experience, exact same on Series S, but you're just not going to have that co-op functionality. Because I totally understand trying to play Borderlands 3 split screen on PS4 versus a next-gen console. I mean, it was like a grueling, excruciating experience trying to play it on the old console. So I have an idea of what this would be like, and I think that you just pull that functionality. They've already got it in games with their native 4K 60 FPS on the Xbox Series X, and then on the Series S, there's 30 FPS with dynamic res, going from 1080 to 1440. People expect that when they go in on the Series S, they know that their games are not going to be at least performance comparable. So now we're just talking about whether it's feature complete, or I think you said feature parity.
Yeah, feature parity. Yeah.
I think they're gonna need to make a call to keep up with the technology and the resources that these devs have available, and let some things go. If they don't, the Xbox is gonna suffer in terms of what they're able to bring to the console. And they need games more than anything. They really do. I think with
Yeah,
this
I
one
mean,
they
it's
said we
one of
have
those-
Starfield, whatever. We'll bring it when you're
Yeah, and,
ready.
and I mean, they have
Yeah.
also stated that they like Xbox has sent engineers over to Larian to help them build this and sort of like fix this. And always for Larian, it's one of those like we could put more engineers on this, but then that means we can't spend as much time bug fixing and getting the PS5 version out the door right now. And obviously, it's one of those like it's priorities for all these developers. Like they have 1,000 different Jira tickets, and they have to just realize we're not going to get to 800 of these in the next couple of years, and the rest we're just going to have to do prioritize somehow. And like the Xbox One is a big one, and like we can't put more. We already have people working on it. We can't put more. It's just gonna have to wait. And I mean, I'm pretty sure that once they've managed to like solve that, they will take a look at could we get this out on the Switch too, and probably they realize they can and will. It's one of the, like Larian is pretty known for just putting the games out wherever they can.
How do you guys think it would play on the Switch? Like, do you think that would be something you would never
On a
recommend
Switch
to
2,
anyone?
on Switch 1, probably not very good. Probably not at all. But on Switch 2, sure. And that's supposedly coming. That like
Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 on Switch 2. I could see that happening.
It plays on the Steam Deck, but not very
There's
well.
no way. There's no way the Switch 2 is even comparable to a Steam Deck, I would say.
They say that the rumors say that it's comparable to a PS4 Pro or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it would be. I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 is not coming to PS4.
No, it's not coming to the old consoles.
No.
So yeah,
So,
possibly.
I would say if they put out a PS4 version, then it's guaranteed on a new Switch, and that's totally possible. The PS4, no shade to the Xbox One X, that is a very, very good console. They got it right in the end, and I would say that that's the best console of the last generation. But the PS4, like the base PS4 hardware, is like amazingly built hardware to stand the test of those 7 or 8 years. I mean, that thing can run the new Horizon game, the Last of Us Part 2, like these games that came out in the last 3 years. The PS4, the original PS4 can keep up. So that's why developers are still releasing games on the PS4, and sometimes they don't put it on the Xbox One because they're like, we're not feeling too good about putting it out on the original Xbox One. We think it is going to be another Cyberpunk. So props to Sony for making a good console.
Divinity Original Sin 2 is on Switch, and this is the same engine. So as
Royadino.
it's Royadino says.
Is it? Gosh, they made some nice tweaks if that's the same engine. Wow.
So I mean, it is the same engine. It's their own in-house engine. So I can see them building the and The Witcher 3 is running as well on Switch. So I can see on the Switch, like on a Switch 2 for sure.
The interesting thing is, like Kirk said, you said something about. I don't remember what you said, but if you compare the Switch and the PS4, they have left the PS4 now, Sony, more or less. But I mean, games are still being done for the Switch, like Tears of the Kingdom. And Tears of the Kingdom is all about optimization. Because we've been discussing this before, you and me, Bjorn, that the Switch is basically like a Galaxy S1 or something, hardware-wise.
Yep, it's like I think my Shield tablet that I used to have was basically the same.
Are you talking about Are you talking about the controller with the flip-up screen?
No, they released an 8-inch tablet.
Oh, okay. I was gonna laugh at that.
But yeah, I had the one after the release after that one, and I mean it was the best tablet I've ever had. So and the reason why we never got a second one is because they made a deal with Nintendo to give them exclusive rights to handhelds with using that hardware.
Yeah,
I love Rohardino in the chat saying we got Doom Eternal and Witcher 3 on Switch. Yeah. And there's a will, there's a way. We can if the devs want to put it on there, they can put it on there. They can figure out a way.
And it's one of those like if they have if they have engineers that are free to work on it, why not? I mean, you got to consider Larian is nowadays, like back when they made Original Sin 2, there were about 50 people working in the company. They're way over 400 people now. So for them to say, now that we're done with this game, some of you are going to start working on our next project, which they've said is going to be something smaller. Some probably are going to work on a DLC, even though they've said, we'll get to that. Even though they've said let's see here, where is it?
Also, let us not forget that we're talking about Baldur's Gate over the cloud with NVIDIA. Switch already makes use of a lot of cloud games so far. I mean, Hogwarts Legacy and things like that. Yeah, it'd be very easy for them to do that. So, and I mean, come on, that game would be so great in your hand. I mean, a lot of people are saying,
I mean, it is right.
ROG
Matthias,
or
you're playing
Steam
on
Deck
the
are the
Ally.
best way to play. Yeah. So
I'm playing Baldur's Gate on the Ally, and it's absolutely amazing. When I play like this, I have two screens here, like 16-inch screens. That one is a 2K screen, 144 hertz. So when I play here, I play locked, and it looks amazing. And when I unplug the cable, it goes over to the controller mode, which is kind of cool. When you play here, you have the mouse and keyboard settings, and when you play it handheld, you get another sort of setup that works better for the controller. And it works absolutely amazing. I get, when I run it native, I get between 40 and 60 FPS in medium-high settings. And with GeForce Now on it, I get 120 frames per second. It looks amazing. It's such an experience.
Yeah, I mean, it really, I can see that as well. Really. And I mean, I've been playing on my phone, both with the Kishi and just touch controls, and it runs. It's great on the small screen. It's sometimes a bit straining on the eye for some of the elements because it's not built for it. But yeah, and Cowboy, yes, it is wild. 173 hours of cutscenes in Baldur's Gate 3, and that is not like, you got to take into account that's like all the permutations of like the different cutscenes, but it's a very cinematic game. And it's a very long game.
That's like a whole Netflix show right there.
No. That's way more. Like, that is more than all seasons of Game of Thrones combined.
That's like the whole catalog of Days of Our Lives or something.
Yeah, they're like.
I mean, the script is I think the script is longer than the Lord of the Rings and the Bible combined, or something like that.
Oh shit.
It's like this game, like as a lot of people, like in the developer community, have gone out on Twitter and said, like, this game is an anomaly. Like, don't expect this to be the standard, because it's not like, this is a special case. It's not possible for most people to make this.
Everybody running out and covering their butt saying, don't expect us to make a game like that. That's
I mean, on one hand, I get it, because it is an anomaly. Like, this studio has, they've had like 20 years of perfecting this style of game. They have one of the biggest yes, meaning I compared it to the Bible. They have one of the biggest IPs in the world behind them. Like, they have a lot of things going for them. They've had 7 years of development, 3 years in early access, with a lot of feedback from the community. Not just bugs, but also like, hey, this feature you added, we're not really sure about this. Could you try something else? And they tried something else and it got better. So like,
I should ask you guys,
won't make this. But yeah,
how does it compare playing it now to when you all got a chance to try it out early on the Stadia?
Much better. I like some of the little tweaks and upgrades they did. I love how your character levels up. They added that. It's pretty awesome. It's epic. It's boom.
Yeah, it's like everything from the smaller details to the bigger things they've changed.
Yeah,
it's a lot better. I feel like a lot of the things are also familiar. Like, a lot of things are familiar and the same, but because I mean, at the end of the day, it is D&D 5 edition. They have the story was written back then as well. But like they went in like I went into the full release expecting to play the tutorial just as I always have, because I played it like 10 times. And realized they've changed, like, completely rebuilt the tutorial area. Like, it's the same story beats, but it's I got lost.
So it's almost like you guys got to play 2 games actually. That's interesting.
In a sense, yeah.
When I was playing Stadia, rolling the dice, I sucked at rolling the dice. For some reason, This version right here, when I roll the dice, actually it works in my favor because I've worked
You
on
know
my.
that Google Voodoo, you know, is just
It
messing you up. You know.
must have been, but I love being so. I started as a drow, and you know, the goblins, they look up to me, you know, because we all dwell down below, and I'm loving being a barbarian and all the different classes and stuff. It's amazing. I love it. Love it.
Yeah, it is very much the same game, but like night and day in terms of
Yeah.
even the original release on Stadia. I like while buggy, I still and like a lot of there were a lot of instances where you know you enter into a conversation and one of the options was like insert option here, like one of in the dialogues, like they hadn't written the line yet, but there was also like
Oh.
at the same time the game even back then was like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And like and they just kept improving on it.
And then shout out to SPG. I've learned this guy is like encyclopedia. I've learned so much doing runs with him on Stadia.
Yeah, I think he
so
has.
now that I'm playing now, it's just like I get it.
Yeah, I asked him a couple of weeks back, like, how many hours did you put in early access? And it was like about 1,000 on Stadia, and then a couple of hundred now on and that's just early access. That's just parts of Act 1. Maybe like a fourth of the game that he's played over 1,000 hours of. And still, last time I played with him, he was like, I've never seen that happen before. Didn't know you could do that. So like that just shows you the scope of this thing. And browser, yes, the most cutscenes are quite short. Like it's like interactive dialogue where you stand around and talk to people. It's cinematic dialogue, like they show you like things happen and stuff, and all of that, like each of them are like maybe each segment is maybe like 10 15 seconds maybe at most, and then you have something else happening, and it's part of the gameplay. So yeah.
Would you guys say that it is definitively dethroned Diablo 4 as the game of the summer? Or is it still up for debate, you think?
No,
100%.
Absolutely. 100%.
Man.
I got Diablo 4. Like, we can talk about the last few years. Bjorn knows this, that we used to do video reviews of all the big releases since 2021 or something. And last year me and my colleague thought was kind of okay. And then this year has been amazing so far. Every game that has been released, big AAA games, have been really good. Street Fighter, Hogwarts, Diablo, all these games.
Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 16. We've got so many good games this year. Even like Callisto Protocol, that was one of the first, was good, but maybe not perfect. But if you look at it now, I would say one of the best games of the decade, or the best game, role-playing game ever, that's Baldur's Gate, period. It's that good. The writing and the acting and everything it's so good. And I think a lot of it is because you get this is one of the first games as of late that I feel that I get a relationship with the characters. You get emotionally connected to them. So I think, it's a masterpiece. If this doesn't win Game of the Year, if Zelda or whatever wins Game of the Year, I'm going to be really pissed. Okay, Starfield can win it, but yeah. Because I think
I would have seen them as an outside chance. Yeah. At least
I thought so going into it, because I thought it was just too much of a niche game. But considering it's blown up the way it has, I mean, if you look at right now, it's over 600,000 people are playing it right now, making it one of the most played games on Steam right now. And it's been out, and that this curve has been pretty stable. It peaked at 814,000, making it the 9th most played. Nice highest on Steam ever in concurrent players. Which pushed Apex Legends out of that list. Like, it has Apex Legends, I think, ended up with like 400,000 concurrent as their peak. This is twice
Well,
that.
so
Like,
can we go there? What do you guys think wins Game of the Year in December?
Baldur's Gate 3.
January?
Baldur's Gate, Baldur's Gate 3. I thought, like, to me, it was like Baldur's Gate is going to, like, should be the Game of the Year, but it's not going to because it's too niche. This has shown that it's not niche. It is. There is so much appeal to this game, and it's taken the world by storm. That will give it the win.
Exactly. This is when sort of like RPGs,
So
it becomes mainstream, just like Diablo also did. It showed like normal people that it's pretty cool to play video games.
Right.
And I think that since everybody's talking about Baldur's Gate, more and more people are prone to try it and realize that it's not that difficult.
Yeah, and I've seen so many people be like, "Oh, I don't like turn-based games, but I tried this and I love it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't understand how they did it so. How do you say it, Bjorn? Greppbart.
Approachable.
Yeah. How did they do it so approachable?
I don't know. D&D 5e isn't approachable.
So in my excuse me, gentlemen, but in my heart, I think BG3 is a beautiful, excellent game. I love it. But I really do. I think Zelda might just win Game of the Year. But no, this game is going to get some awards because there is other awards to win. But as far as Game of the Year, I don't think you'll get Game of the Year. But it will definitely win some awards. I think
even if it doesn't win, it will at least be nominated.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
and I agree.
Oh yeah,
and then
100% nomination. And
then back to Cowboys thing, guys. You got to understand here. Gaming is preference. Okay, there's a lot of people that are they're not gonna relate to this game because they don't do. There's a lot of people that don't do turn-based games. I was doing turn-based games when it was on NES, and so I love the game. I love the story. I mean, if you give it a try and try it out, you might like it. If not, I guarantee you there's a hundred thousands of people that are loving it right now.
Yeah, I mean, as
Rudig's with the shout. Rudig's with the shout for Armored Core.
Yeah,
that's a niche game.
I know some Armored Core guys. Armored Core guys.
From Software, he's right though. From Software doesn't miss. So that game
should be. And also, we just want to mention, like, Rokk and SPG points out, Hogwarts. Yeah, I think I agree. Like, consider like that. If you look at how much that has sold, how big of an IP that is,
no chance.
It won't even be nominated. The game is great. It's not groundbreaking. It won't
even be nominated.
It's a great open world, and it's sold insanely well.
I love that game.
Oh, look who it is, Cowboy! Welcome. Long time no see.
He's riding in on horseback to defend the honor.
Yeah, breaking up a little bit, but hopefully we can hear you soon.
He's in the car. No, there's no shot that Hogwarts gets nominated, and that purely for controversial reasons. But also in a year where it's very, very hard to stand out, a game that is it's probably one of the best licensed IP games that we've had in a long time. It's just not going to be enough against original ideas like Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield. It's just not going to happen. I would put money down that it's not even going to get a Game of the Year nod at all.
I don't know, man. You had a cat that was nominated Game of the Year.
That was weird. I'll give you that. That was weird.
You had a cat that was nominated.
Vampire Saviors won. Was it BAFTA?
Yeah,
Game of the Year.
Yeah.
So I mean, anything could happen, but I think it's going to be down to Diablo, Hogwarts, Zelda, Baldur's Gate, and. What else did we get? We got so many good games. Yeah, those 4 or 5 games.
All right, let's let him say his piece.
Can I say something, please?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
All right, hold up. Stop. Thank you very much, Ray, for putting a little bit of realism in here about this thing not winning Game of the Year. Listen, whoever said on there was like, the average person could play this game. Look, I paid full price for this game on Stadia. And I wanted to play. So bad to like it because of the Stadia features. I was like, oh man, you could do crowd play, crowd choice with your audience. Dude, Listen, I've been playing games since I was probably 5 years old. I'm 47. I got over 40 years in gaming. Man, listen, I tried. I'm telling you, a lot of hours I put in Baldur's Gate. It is not for the average person. It was so over my head. I'm like, it's a million buttons. It's a PC gamer's dream. Like, it is man.
You
Listen,
gotta keep in mind though, Cowboy, the controller UI and the controller inputs back then that we had on Stadia that then didn't exist on the PC version at all. But
Did you
is
read the
now
instructions?
on,
Did you read the instructions?
Completely rebuilt.
Did you read the instructions,
yeah, that
Cowboy?
but
yeah, I
the
read it.
controller UI and
Doing this trying to show me, like, dude, it's not the average. Like, listen, I played a lot of RPGs. Like, listen, I go back. My favorite RPG of all time is Phantasy Star 4. I beat and played. I mean, you go on and on, right? This game, bro, is like, it's so much on the screen. It's so much to do. It's not the. Listen,
If I can do it, you can do it, man.
Because you had
you can do
SPG
it.
to hold your hand. You had SPG to hold your hand. That was cool.
You can come in anytime, dude.
No. Hear me out. The average person that go and see all these trailers and think it's amazing and go buy it and don't have an SPG to hold their hand, they're gonna be like, "What? They're gonna want a refund." I'm telling you. Out of every game, I want my money back for Stadia.
You played it back in the early access 3 years ago. They've completely reworked the tutorial area.
You think it got simple? So you think it got way more simple?
No, the onboarding of the game.
I'll put this to rest right now in Cowboys and argue on Cowboys' behalf. Divinity Original Sin 2 only won Game of the Year from one outlet, PC Gamer. This game is not going to have the mainstream appeal for the console market to win Game of the Year awards from big time outlets that aren't PC focused.
I think I'll be surprised.
It might be nominated because of its popularity, but it won't win.
Absolutely, it's going to get nominated by everyone.
When did Spider-Man come out? When is Spider-Man?
Oh my God, I forgot about Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
This year is insane, guys. Like,
I don't think Spider-Man is going to win either.
The game that we've mentioned so far.
There's no way that wins either.
That's not going to win either.
Like every single game we mentioned so far, if it come out like last year, it would have won Game of the Year.
Yes. Yeah. The biggest effect that Baldur's Gate 3 coming out this year has on the Game of the Year race is that Final Fantasy 16 has no chance now. None. Because there's a better RPG. Final Fantasy 16, when it came out, like the week it came out, people were like, this might be an outside shot. Like, this might be a dark horse for Game of the Year. It's not perfect, but like, it's pretty nice. Ain't nobody saying that now. That conversation is over.
No.
There's a better RPG out there. So Final Fantasy has no chance now of winning Game of the Year. It's going to be Starfield. It's going to be Zelda. And I can't really see anybody else breaking in because of the oversaturation of amazing games. I just don't think this is a year when like an It Takes Two or a Sekiro can come up from the bottom and snipe one out. It's going to be one of the big heavy hitters that has mainstream appeal. And Baldur's Gate is I know Baldur's Gate from the PS2 game. Like, it's not, you slap Lord of the Rings on there, maybe it wins. But Baldur's Gate as an IP is just not, it's not going to carry the
D&D.
Like a Zelda
would. And just so you know, Cowboy, I'm playing like 1-2 o'clock in the morning. I have no SPG holding my hand. I'm making the decision.
And to add to this, SPG posts, SPG held your hand too, Cowboy. He dropped. But also, Rokk points out he can't stand complex games. And he's not played anything else. Played with anyone else, and it's worked for him. It takes a few hours to click. So I don't know. Like, you might be surprised.
I have to agree with Rokk there, because I played it both with the control settings and the mouse and the keyboard. So I know how it will be playing on the PS5 as well, fairly good. And they've done a fantastic job of translating the controls with the radial menus, etc. And it's actually very playable.
I did play it with the Stadia controller. That's how I played it. But now I'm doing keyboard and mouse.
I mean, I've been playing Kishi and touch.
And loving this game. I mean, this game is hilarious. There's all kinds of funny stuff. There's all kinds of I mean, I had to go find somebody that was a freaking bear and get him out of a dungeon. And
Yeah.
get him.
Thought that was going somewhere else. Ray. I really did.
No.
Oh, it gets crazy.
Oh, it gets crazy.
But you know what? One thing I never hear you guys comment on, right? Everybody who loves Baldur's Gate, like the general like person who like, let's say the third person action guy, right? Baldur's Gate, its view is not. It's also its view is like not the normal. I'm telling you, the normal person will play it. Like you see the cutscenes and the characters all big on the screen, and then you play the game, the characters like teeny tiny. Like it's
that's just
for the average gamer.
Divinity is the same way, and Diablo proves that that's not a problem as well.
You can zoom in and out on the game, Cowboy. That's another.
I played the game. It's not. Trust me. Listen, I know you played it too, but I think you're selling it real. Like I don't know, you're trying to sell it to people, but
I don't have to sell
like a regular person. No, but I'm saying,
are you looking at the numbers?
No, hear me.
Are you looking at the numbers?
No. I only want to come on because when we mentioned the general gamer, I feel like general third person action adventure, and I bought the game myself, and it's not. It won't give you that at all. Nothing close to it. You'll be like, wait, what? Trust me, with the million options to choose and the millions and to press the button to nah. Trust me.
Go buy Divinity. Go buy Divinity Original Sin 2 on sale. See if you like it. If you like it.
No, that's a bad suggestion actually, because it's very different from the Divinity.
Yeah. Like I said.
What is it more similar to then?
I would say
guys. Look, there's guys that don't play wrestling games. I love wrestling games.
Okay. No,
guys
that's fine.
that play preference. There's guys that just don't want to click on the button, don't want to do all that. They just want to go in and shoot, pow.
I don't want to clicky. I want to shooty.
Thank you.
I get it. It's not for you. It's not for you.
No. Ray, I'm just all jokes aside. I just only came on because you guys was making it sound like, oh, anybody could pick it up and play, and I was like, "Whoa,
don't go out and spend
and I still stand by
$70."
No,
I appreciate.
He's looking out for the people. I like it.
Yeah, that's all.
Buyer beware. Do your own research. Be informed.
Yeah.
Great game, but it's not for
guys.
everybody.
If you want to know how to play BG3, holla at your boy Bjorn. Myself, Simply Plum would probably be Bjorn, and SPG would probably be your best guys. You got Rude Diggs. Look, if there's something you don't understand, there is tons of other people that can help you.
Hey, Ray, all the people you just named are all nerds. I'm just saying. They never
Hey, guys, shut up.
Who do you think comes on this show, man? Like, what are you talking about right now?
Cowboy, did you get any money for your car or for your what the hell did you want? What the hell you asking for? You just mad?
Yeah,
nobody.
We're off the rails.
I put it up today, and today I got $4.88.
All right,
and that was
why
from
he's mad, folks. That's why he's mad talking about BG3. Y'all look, send some money out so he can pay for the car.
It's true though. Ray, you're like the nicest guy. I would think you would. Well, no, you did come up and say you do think it's a good game, but you don't think it won Game of the Year. But I think you're the nicest guy. You always tell the truth. I think you'd have been like, yeah, to be honest, guys, I don't think it's for everybody. You're like, what do you mean? Anybody could play this. I'm like, what? Anybody can play the Lego games.
If you read the
instructions.
If you read,
no.
Well, okay, then I'm gonna throw it back at you. Then your game was Marvel Avengers.
Yes.
With all the looting and grinding, would you say that's an easy game? Would you say that?
Yeah, because they made it simple. They made it where all you have to do is hold down L2, and when you hold down L2, it literally just gave you all the top stuff. You didn't have to be like Destiny.
But Cowboy, it's not good. It's not a good game. It's an easy game, but it's not. You can't say it's a good game.
Sorry, Bjorn.
Listen, I like the game. I won't argue with you because I like you so far. So you know what? You and me, we're not gonna be.
Let's not in Discord.
So,
I like you, Kurt. I like you.
his
Here's the
opinions.
thing, like
His-
to counter the whole Avengers being easy. I disagree. Like I played Avengers, and the first that first time you get to fly as Iron Man on through this like one of the quite early levels. You know, you fly through this base as Iron Man. Like the controls of that was like
Please tell me you are not about to make the argument that Baldur's Gate
like
3 is more intuitive than Marvel's Avengers. Please tell me that you're not about to do that. Because
No,
then I just
yeah.
can't take anything you say seriously
but
ever
here's the
again.
For real.
Like that
For
because that level had one of those like if you don't do it right you're gonna have to start over.
Oh God! If I press square instead of triangle, then it doesn't work. But let me make sure I go into. I gotta press tab and then I gotta scroll to the right. Make sure that I have my spell hotkeyed so that I can do the spell at the right. And I gotta do this spell first, and then do that. I gotta cast enchantment on him, so then I get the dialogue option, so then I can do that, and then I can roll my dice, and then I roll it. Oh, it's a 2. I guess I can go screw myself then. I'll just go play Avengers.
Okay, guys. Listen to me. I know Ray agrees with me here, and Bjorn, but Bjorn hasn't played it that much. But when you see ogre penis.
Yeah, that scene is.
Guys. When you see the ogre penis, though,
yeah,
you're bought in. Okay, you're bought in.
And this is why certain people love this game, and I'm not gonna say who this is for, but I'm just saying.
You have bear sex, you have ogre penises. Like, what's not to love about this game?
Best game you ever played.
Oh yeah.
All I can see is penis. Penis as far as I can see.
Wait a minute. First off, hold on. I'm not playing this game for orc penises. All right. Let me put that out there. All right.
He's playing it, Cowboy. He's playing it for the romantic dialogue options.
Yes.
All right.
Played a game with connected before.
Do you want it over here? Do you want it over there? Do you want it over here?
You know, there's about 624,000 people right now sitting and waiting for that ogre penis. So, yeah.
Do you want it on the floor? Do you want it on the couch? Do you want it in the kitchen?
I mean, I just gotta bring. I had to bring up this. So this is the patch note from the hotfix release for Baldur's Gate today. In the gameplay section, we have penises C and D no longer clip through some Githyanki clothing, and male gnome sorcerers are no longer missing their underwear.
They ruined it.
Bjorn, there's a file coming to your Discord in a second.
Oh yeah, I'll be ready for it. Yeah, so they've patched away some of the accidental nudity.
Put it on the box. Baldur's Gate 3. Cock's so big we had to patch him out.
Excuse me. And we
That's
still
so
got
big it doesn't fit
Starfield.
the Xbox S.
We still got Starfield coming, folks. Next
Yeah,
month,
we also have Starfield coming, and Starfield looks amazing as well.
It does look pretty cool.
And I mean, as a PC guy, City Skylines 2 is coming in October.
God, dude, what is he talking about?
Bruh,
City
he's
Skylines?
killing me.
You're talking about Starfield?
Spider-Man.
I'm starting to believe Cowboy. He's like a bunch of nerds on here.
Hey!
Skylines?
What
Are you
the hell
for real?
Kurt,
Are you for real right now?
Really, Kurt. Come on now.
We're in the same conversation?
Come on.
City Skylines.
I'm
I'll
not
show
playing
this
City.
briefly because I'm not sure
I'm
how
not
long we can
playing
show this
City
on stream,
Sky.
but
There's different gamers out there. I'll say that much.
Hell?
they patched that out.
I mean, you ain't, oh. Ray's like, I think fellas, I think I just passed the test because I was looking at something and it sure as heck wasn't penis. I didn't see any penis. My eyes were elsewhere. So I guess you confirmed my what team I play for. I guess.
Yeah,
I
mean,
know.
the game has cyberpunk levels of customization, and Mass Effect level quality of dialogue. And the gameplay, like the combat gameplay itself, I mean, yeah, it's complex, but you don't like. You could just play it on story mode and just go, I attack, I go here, I attack, like, and I just ignore all the complex.
Oh, there's an easy mode. Well, then
Yeah.
Cowboy, get out of here. If there's like a if
There
there's
wasn't
a
when Cowboy played it though, because he hasn't played it in
There's a
several
training wheels mode. Okay, well then Cowboy, your argument doesn't stand up.
Nah,
If there's
hey,
a
look-
training wheels mode.
The training wheel mode is like harder than a hard mode on another game.
That's
It's
80, if you're in
80 buttons.
He didn't.
No.
He didn't even want to play Red Dead Redemption 2, man. He didn't even want to play
because
Red
it was
Dead Redemption 2.
because it was old as hell. That's why I didn't want to play it.
Red Dead Redemption 2 or what?
He's talking
Part 2.
You saying 2 is old?
I mean, you know what it was? I just never got into it. So when I was in the Stadia community, they bullied me into getting it. How you call yourself the cowboy? You don't play that. And then I go get the game. I get the game, and all Ray do is run out and stab and kill me. So I was like, bro, every time I play, he just come and kill me. So I just stopped playing.
Sound like you need a name change, my boy.
Yeah,
I was
and,
new to the
Rock
game.
Says, Rock says that's something you won't see in Hogwarts. Yep, definitely right about that.
Yeah.
You won't see that.
But I also want to bring up this quote from Larian CEO Sven Winke. So he tweeted that so their expectation because the original Sin peaked at 90,000 concurrent, and he had told the IT, yeah, you should probably expect around 100,000 concurrent or so. You know, prepare the servers for that. And so when they reached 500,000 concurrent, he said that I should probably stay away from the IT team for a while because they're not very happy with me.
And what did they hit 900?
They hit
900,000
814,000, making it the ninth most highest concurrent numbers on Steam ever.
That's just PC.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if those numbers stay up by the time it goes to PlayStation.
I mean,
I
I think it's going to probably hover around 300,000, 400,000 concurrent on Steam in 4 weeks' time when it launches on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Which, if
on
it does
PlayStation,
anything like the Steam numbers on PlayStation, it's going to go over 1 million on launch day
No,
for
stop.
PlayStation.
Listen, on PlayStation, it's gonna be like 3 people playing it. Come on, get it right.
Oh my god!
I mean,
They're
it's
like
been and it's been top of the like it's been higher on the list of pre-orders than Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2. So it's more currently being pre-ordered more than Spider-Man 2.
What
on PS5?
It's also
in
also
several
coming
countries,
out
Sweden,
in a month.
UK. I think in UK, FIFA, the new FIFA game, the EA Sport soccer football team surpassed it. But it would it's outselling pre-orders for Madden as well. So it's
okay. That's impressive. That's really
it's
Cowboy. What do you have to say about that, Cowboy?
on PlayStation.
It's out pre-ordering Madden. That's not just the nerds, my friend.
He gonna tell you I don't care about Madden.
And the game has got sex noises.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna say nobody's fact checking him. He could be lying. I mean,
I can bring out the I can bring out my own.
Come on, man! Like,
damn.
Hey, listen.
Listen,
Ray's the guy you can always trust. But when I heard him on here, anybody can play this game. You know what?
I'm playing it. I'm playing it.
I mean, I think I tweeted it.
Cowboy, he said anybody can play it. He didn't say anybody gonna like it. He said they can play it.
Well, guys, let me. I see my phone. For whatever reason, this app makes my phone overheat. But I'm gonna jump in the comments because I see my phone getting like dim. So I don't want it to just shut off. So I at least want to say.
What are you using? Spectrum? What are you using?
No. This app. So for whatever reason, this app it like make my phone overheat. Like the phone gets like start to overheat. Whereas like when I use the other stuff, that doesn't happen.
Just blow some cold air on it.
I guess maybe
what you got, like a 5-year-old Motorola? What you rolling with there?
Oh, don't do that to me, bro. I got a Galaxy Fold. Come on, don't do that to me. My phone cost the price of 2 phones.
He got a $2,000 phone, man. He got a $2,000
your phone is the price of 2 phones, but it works about as well as half a phone, apparently.
Did
Shots fired.
I don't see none of y'all. I don't see none of y'all doing this on the phone. Everybody.
I did it on a phone to start. I did it on a phone to start, and I had a big ass head just like you do right now.
That's a sexy phone.
For how long?
For like 5 minutes until they like get your butt out of here.
Oh, there you go.
So just want to show here proof here, Ant. This is from the PlayStation.
Okay, let's
app.
see it. Let's see it.
So from the PlayStation app, that I took this image on launch day, I think it was, and this is pre-order sorted by most sold in the Swedish part of PSN, and this was as a response to someone posting the same from the US, where it was on number 1. So you have FC24, and then you have Baldur's Gate, and then you have Spider-Man, and then another.
You still can't beat all these Europeans buying the soccer game.
Yeah,
you can't
do
it.
And I mean, this is just one country, but this was the case in a lot of countries.
Go
FC
last week.
FC24.
Listen, bro, I never knock the amount of nerds in the world. They run the world, like I'm not knocking nerds.
We do.
You know?
Yeah, and then the official word from the, I think he's the producer, director of publishing at Larian Series regarding the Xbox version is that it's someone called it a PlayStation exclusive, and he confirmed that no, it's not an exclusive.
Yeah.
We have no exclusivity deal that prevents us from launching Xbox. It's a purely technical hurdle. We can't remove the split screen feature because we are obliged to launch with feature parity between X and S.
Yep.
And so continue to try to make it work. We have quite a few engineers working very hard to do what no other RPG of this scale has done: seamless drop-in, drop-out co-op on Series S. We hope to have an update by the end of the year.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. I want to say this before I leave. I'm saying it's a bad game. It's amazing. Like, I love cutscenes. I'm a cutscene guy, right? Man, the cutscenes are just amazing. Like, the game is so intuitive. It's just, I think, like if you're the general gamer, you like third person, first person, it's just gonna be a little bit like it's a PC game in the end of the day. But
Probably.
So I think if you're like the console guy, it's just a lot. But if you try to stick in, I mean, like Ray said, if Ray could do it, I mean, Ray don't know how to cut his grass. Like, he had trouble pushing a lawnmower. So I mean, Ray is right. If he could do it, but he had to hold his hand down.
I hired landscapers.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why.
Well, yeah. So he's got Baldur's Gate 3 money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not sure if you should spend the $60, a great way to figure it out is go watch people play it on Twitch. Go watch Bjorn play it. Go watch Ray play it. Go watch SPG play it. Maybe watch Rokk play it. I don't know if Rock's doing videos, but yeah, like, that's a great way, and it makes for a good viewing experience either way. So you're gonna enjoy the viewing experience, but then you can sort of derive from that. Hey, do I actually want to be the one on the ones and twos, you know, going through all the menus and everything and figuring out how to operate this, or do I just want to sit back, relax, and watch somebody have sex with a bear? Like, what do I want to do here?
Yeah, and also to be said as well, if you have a friend who has the game and plays the game already, it's like the game has full. You can play the whole game in co-op if you want.
Yeah.
So start playing it in co-op and with someone who knows it, and they can get you on board in no time.
Real quick, Cowboy. Real quick, but how do you feel about the cloud in PS5? Real quick, how do you feel about that?
Oh, them supposed to have you. I mean, honestly, I kind of fell back on cloud for a bit, but as far as you know, them having 4K 60, I think that's pretty amazing. And so I just want to see it happen. I want to see because I think the goal, they didn't say this, but the goal would be able to hold up real quick.
You sound much better, but you're just lower.
Yeah,
allow you to be able to do cloud light is what it
sounded way better during that little 3-second interval.
Going through puberty.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
can you hear me now?
We can hear you better before. It wasn't like. But
somebody was trying to call me, so something happened. But because I'm connected to my car.
Yeah, and the car mic is way worse than the one built in your phone.
Oh yeah. All right, hold up.
It's double price phone.
All right, could you?
Oh my god.
But much lower volume, but a lot more better quality.
I might have just messed something up.
There we go. Perfect.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. You're perfect.
This sounds perfect.
Don't touch anything.
Okay, there you go. All right, so
we could have had that.
But yeah, I mean, all right, there we go. So I didn't know. So, but yeah, long story short, I would love to see. You know, I want to see everybody kind of prove that the cloud works, because everybody on Stadia, the one thing is we know 100% the cloud does work. A lot of gamers still think it doesn't work, but we know it works. And I was gonna say that to Kurt, the Baldur's Gate on Stadia was amazing. They had a thing called crowd choice, which is my favorite Stadia feature. And so when you're streaming, how you were telling people that they could watch people stream, well, on that, your audience was able to choose what happened in the game as they was watching, and that was cool, man.
And that, to be fair, that feature still exists within Baldur's Gate 3. However, it's now because when they released the game on, they built that feature for Stadia. They also built that feature for as a Twitch integration for PC, and that Twitch integration still remains. However, that only works for Twitch. So so basically, when what one thing that I hope comes out of Stadia very soon, like the ashes of Stadia, is those features coming to YouTube, because YouTube supported that when Stadia did. They don't support it anymore,
Well,
and that's something they're missing from Twitch.
Doesn't Streamlabs?
Okay, let me jump off, guys. I'm going to be in the chat.
You think you might be able to do it through Streamlabs?
Listen, all I want to say, last thing is, long live the nerds. Kurt's my dude. Kurt, hold it up for the people who like to do push-ups, and let those little pencil pushers love the Baldur's Gate.
I don't know.
Cowboys
why
out.
you're looking at me thinking I do push-ups, my man. I must look 2 times larger on camera. I don't know.
And so what Ray was asking Cowboy about
it's the Winter Soldier. It's the Winter Soldier getup. Is what's doing it,
so Sony is currently in the testing phases of beta testing. They built this cloud stream PS5 games 4K, which is great. It's just the fact that it's, first of all, it's limited to only the specifically invited members get a voucher code to redeem in order to unlock this. And it's only so it's for select few. It's only
that's
limited...
temporary, ostensibly.
Yeah,
right?
but it's also only people in the US or UK. So it's very limited, and it's also just a certain, like, I think 10 games. To be fair, it's like God of War Ragnarok, Returnal, Destiny 2, Fortnite, Horizon Forbidden West, Fall Guys, Death Stranding, Sackboy, Destruction All Stars, and Demon's Souls. So it's still like great games, but yeah, it's an early beta test. Hopefully, we get it sooner rather than later.
Could do without 3 of those, probably. Fall Guys, Sackboy, and Destruction. They could have done better.
Fall Guys,
I mean, out of the 10, you gonna stick Fall Guys in there?
Sure, why not? It's a great party title. But yeah, so I mean, it's great to see them do it. And I suppose hopefully they roll this out globally and very soon, because PlayStation streaming, as it stands right now, they have a lot of catching up to do compared to the others. I would say my experience with it has been really bad. I tried yesterday to even just do remote play from my PS5 that's in the right next to me on this side to this PC to stream to through OBS. It was complete dog shit, and like then that was running on a straight Ethernet cable, but straight, like, pretty much, pass through a switch and then just over here. Like, it should have been flawless, but it was really bad.
Try with Chiaki, Bjorn.
Yeah, I'll have to try that. The thing is, I don't think I can install Chiaki on this PC.
I was gonna ask you guys, like, how do you think they're planning to do this? Because they've had the Gaikai streaming since like 2013, 2014, and it's been terrible. So like, how are they now gonna do 4K 60 when they couldn't even do PS3 games?
I think they probably figured out. It's not. There's a lot of competent people out there that can help them fix this.
Outsourced it maybe or whatever.
And I think it was bullshit that they couldn't do it. Of course they can.
Yeah, they could. They always.
Yeah,
could.
and I also think that this PS5 streaming 4K, it's got a lot of it is because of the queue. I think
that's all pushing it as well.
Yeah,
I mean, Xbox can't do it. To be fair, they can't do it as well as Nvidia can do it. So
Xbox can in theory. They just aren't ready to they're just holding off to push, keep working on that right now. I think they could very much, like, they have everything. Like, Xbox is way more set up to do it. I think it's one of those, like, they don't want to do that right now because it's still, the whole acquisition thing is still hanging on a loose thread with cloud being one of the big pain points in that. So, like, once everything is closed and they're ready to roll things out, they're gonna turn on that knob. But it's something you also got to keep in mind. as you say, Matthias, this is like the queue is driving this, because at the end of the day, Sony is a company that wants to sell hardware. That's what they're built to do. So like this is being done to push the queue, not to say, hey, you could skip buying any hardware and just stream from us for slow slight fee.
We talked about this before, like what maker of Chaos 12 says. He says, do you guys think that the PS Cloud will come to the Q Lite on launch? Yeah, we talked about this, you and me, Bjorn, that if they just let the Q stream from the PS5 to the Q, it's dead in the water. If they
it's dead on
charge
arrival.
Yeah, $300 or $250 or
even like $150.
Yeah,
well, hold on. There's no way that it doesn't. It's got to do one or the other, right? Like it's got to either what we're talking about,
like the only thing they've said
4K
officially,
games from the cloud, or you've got to be able to download a very small amount of games.
No, but like the only thing they've said,
the actual thing.
Like we don't know yet because they've said very little. But the only thing they have said is that the queue will let you is designed to stream games from your local PS5 over Wi-Fi. So it's a remote play. It's a remote play device solely.
From what of course,
do that with my Vita right now.
Yeah, of course they are listening to people, what people say, and when they presented it, everybody said this is bullshit. This is such a crappy handheld because you need to buy the PS5 and you need to have a good network, etc. If a parent comes into the shop and says, I want one of those, okay, you need a PS5 and I'm going to hook you up with a good router, etc., etc. You also need to buy
looking at
game.
like 10,000 like Swedish crowns, so like
it's completely bullshit. And everybody said, like, or we said, Bjorn, you and me, we said that it will be a disaster if they just let it stream from the PS5. But if they give you 3 months of PS Plus, whatever, and let you stream the PS3 games, etc., to it, if they you pay for the subscription and get it cheaper, it can be a super hit. So I mean, if you get the PS5 cloud games like Ragnarok on that one without the PS5, it can be a super hit.
Yeah,
that's break it or make it.
And I think it's one of those. I think go ahead, Kirk.
No, by all means, if I could cede way to somebody once, I'll do it now. Go ahead.
No, I think it's one of those like because I think Rokk floated the concept almost a year ago when we started this show with one of the first episodes that that I mean Sony, like they're not they would never tell their people their shareholders or that we're looking to make a push for cloud, because the second they say that, their shares are going to go down because they're a hardware company. The people who have invested in Sony did so for their hardware sales, but at the same time they surely know they need to focus on cloud for the future. So they're like in the background, they've been building this stuff for years in the background, ready to just whenever they think the market is ready and the shareholders are ready, they're gonna do a switch and be like, we're now focusing a lot more on cloud and streaming features. And I think that's and content, and that's when, like, for them it's one of those we need to time this button press so well that we don't tank our company. Whereas for Xbox is one of those like, yeah, I mean, sure, we'll do that. And then if that doesn't work out, then I mean, it's Microsoft. We can just say we have Microsoft money. We have fuck you money. Sony
buy Activision money. Yeah.
I mean, Sony has a lot of money, and I'm not saying that. It's just Sony has a lot of money, but they don't have Microsoft money. So for them, they need to be much more careful for this. And
I think it matters on the price point too. I mean, if this thing is $200 and all it does is stream, into my bedroom or wherever, I don't have a wife and kids, but I know that probably all three of you guys do, or at least one or the other. I have maybe you can't. Maybe you can't always, play it in your living room on the TV or wherever your normal setup is. So you go to another room or whatever, and you're only able to do it on the queue. For $200, that's not bad. People with a little bit of extra cash that they're in a place where they can afford to spend it on that, they're going to buy it, and it's not going to be DOA. If it's $300, $350, $400, and it doesn't have the ability to do what we're talking about, or there's no way to get games natively on it without using the PS5, nobody's going to buy it. So I think there's still a pathway forward for them to not rely on streaming for this device, and it literally only plays stuff off your PS5.
There was a leak a while back. I don't know if it turned out to be true or not. With like more like cell phone footage of someone using an early prototype, and it seemed to be basically a tablet running Android with a DualSense on the sides. And even if it is that, then there's no reason for them to just go, oh, this is a full-on Android tablet with like hardware to, you can use it to watch Netflix as well, and you use the controller as a kickstand, and you can stream the games from the cloud as well when we roll that out to the Android audience. Because I mean, keep in mind, you can't use PlayStation Cloud you can only use remotely. You can't use PlayStation Cloud on Android because they haven't rolled that out, but they're gonna at some point.
Here's my prediction. Okay, my prediction is that it will get released for, in Sweden, 3,500 kroners. You can only stream
around 350 $350 ish.
Yeah, no, I think 250 with plus tax.
250 plus tax.
Yeah, so it will be very expensive. And the thing with like Bjorn said, Sony, they're a hardware company. They make software to sell hardware. Xbox makes hardware to sell software. So what needs to happen for Sony is that they need to drop new hardware all the time, like PSVR 2, which was a disaster. And this, I'm not sure about this, but when people buy PS5s, they need more stuff to sell. So I really hope this will work, but I'm not too sure that it will be a hit, this one.
I think the queue is, it will be a complete fail if it doesn't release at the same time that Sony tries to do a push for cloud. To do that button press to basically change up the entire company, in a sense that the shareholders will not be happy with, but it's probably something they need to do to keep the gaming side alive long term. But and if it isn't, then it's dead in the water. Like that's the only two options really. Like it, and yeah, I mean sure. As I was saying in the chat, like PSVR has sold sold a bunch of units, but it's also like I know a lot of people who share the sentiment that Phoenix is putting out, that I'm not gonna buy it because it's too expensive. Like I would love one, but with that,
and it vastly underperformed based on their standards for it, what they wanted to accomplish.
Ruth saying, "Come on, guys, we need a little PlayStation love." Just so you know, I do have a PS5. I do remote play, so when my son wants to watch something on TV, I can actually remote play on my PC and play PlayStation games. And I do have fiber internet. It works great for me. I play remote play on my phone. It works great for me. If this is at a $200 and something price range, I might just get it for my son, because that's the price. If it's over $350, $400, I'm not even gonna look at it. But like I said, something me and my wife are looking probably to get for my son for Christmas. As far as the VR, I don't think so.
That's what makes it insane, Ray, is like you're basically paying $250 for or whatever it's going to cost. It could be more than that, for a glorified controller. I mean, you just said, like, there's the ability to remote play on your phone. Mm-hmm. There's the ability, I think, still for certain games to remote play to an old PS Vita. At least you can with PS4 games still. Mm-hmm. You can remote play to a Steam Deck if you install the right add-ons. You can remote play to your PC. So really all you're getting here is the controller, like the controller on either side of the screen. You can just get a Razer Kishi or a Backbone for your phone, and do that. I mean, so that they got to be really careful with how they price this thing and how they market it, or it's just going to be a complete
and I think that's also why they haven't said anything else other than, look at this thing we announced, Project Q. We're gonna do something with it at some point.
But I think the fact that they have very little to say is not a good sign, though. Like, I think if they had good news, they would just tell us
to be like, "Hey, we're still working on your hardware."
Sony is trying to become Apple. They want to make premium products. They want to make premium gaming products. Look at their hardware, like their headphones, their monitors. How much is the monitor? How much does it cost for like 24 or 27 inch? That's crap. And I think Sony was a fantastic company. PlayStation was a fantastic company with PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I think when they had Jack Tretton and the other guys, that was fantastic. But now they have some guy that used to work at an oil platform or whatever, and he only makes decisions that's for the payers, not for the players. And I think when they're trying to become a premium brand in the physical products, but not what they can do, etc. That's when it's bullshit.
And also, like, I think you're pretty much hit the nail on the head there, because like, just take a look at the physical design of the PS5 and compare it to basically all other gaming consoles ever.
Yeah.
This, like, if someone had told, like, if I didn't know what the PS5 was and someone showed it to me and said, "Hey, look at this new console that Apple released," I would say, "Yeah, that looks like an Apple product."
Yeah, so when I get I just don't want my son touching my ROG when I get it, and so the key, he can do whatever he want with the key. Just don't touch my ROG.
See, and to Matthias's point, like, that your statement right there just shows where we're at. You said, "Don't touch my Asus ROG." Like, if Sony wants to be Asus ROG, they got a heck of a long way to go. And I think that Jim Ryan is screwing it up. They got a bunch of goodwill and they got a bunch of brand recognition by just putting out banger after, I mean, God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, Horizon Zero Dawn, Last of Us Part 2, a lot. I mean, that one game of the year, game after game after game after game that you can only play on PlayStation, that all perform well. None had any bugs and glitches on launch. Like, you are getting premium gaming experiences on Sony hardware, and people felt that and experienced that in the latter half, or really the entirety of the business, and they don't translate to cannot get out from under their own feet. I mean, they can't stop tripping over themselves. And so Sony's fine right now only because of that. I mean, like, look at Redfall. If Redfall comes out and crushes, Sony's, in trouble with Starfield around the corner. They're not, though, because Xbox can't make it happen. So Sony's just fine. But, it remains to be seen whether they're going to get a rude awakening because of this sort of shift in business practices, or if they're just going to be able to skate on free and clear and do whatever they want and make a bunch of money, I guess.
Yeah, the big thing that no one seems to see in the world amongst gamers is that I've been talking about this with Bjorn before as well. Like we said, PlayStation is a hardware company, Xbox is a software company. I don't think that Xbox cares about exclusives. People say, "Where's the exclusives? Where is the exclusives?" If you have whatever game that people plays on Game Pass, they don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, okay,
they even said so themselves in the hearings with the FTC. Like, the CEO of Microsoft went out and said, if in my dream, like, utopia, like, in a utopia, like, in my dream world, my dream reality, exclusives wouldn't be a thing at all.
And sure, but that's Satya Nadella. That's not Phil Spencer.
No, but Phil Spencer said it himself as well in interviews like a year ago. He basically said in a perfect world we wouldn't have need to do exclusives at all. But it is the way the market is, unfortunately.
They have to do it to counteract Sony.
No, why do you need exclusives? What's the main reason to have an exclusive? It's to drive sales of your hardware, of your PlayStation, or your Switch.
Platform,
But I mean, if your Game Pass, you don't have any hardware. You have all the games in the world on there. What do you think? I mean,
but if people can buy it on their PlayStation, they don't need to go subscribe to Game Pass. I disagree. I disagree. An exclusive like Starfield brings people over to Game Pass. Whereas if somebody owns a PS5, they're like, well, I'll just buy it for PS5 then, because that's what they know. They don't have a Game Pass.
But at the same time,
right
like if you don't have a Game Pass subscription, and Starfield would release on both on Game Pass and on as purchasable probably on PlayStation, like in a scenario when you look at like I can either buy Starfield or I can subscribe to Game Pass for the 3 months I think I'm gonna play it.
Yeah.
Most people like it. Like some people prefer to have their games bought and own them. Some people prefer to have a subscription. Some people are hovering in between and choose on a game per game basis, and like that's just the way it is. And like as Rudy points out, they are limited currently. Like subscriptions have stalled, and for Xbox Game Pass stalling, that's a problem. That's not a problem of like people don't want this. It's a problem of the people who want this. We have already given it to. We need more people to give this to. We need Game Pass on more places, and for them to go.
So Starfield that you can't play on PlayStation is going to bring new people in.
For them to go, like if we put Starfield as an exclusive on Game Pass, that's not going to bring in any like very many new people who go like who has.
It absolutely is. The data will bear that out.
In the grand scheme of things, like if you are a PlayStation gamer, and you want to play Starfield, do you are you gonna go and buy an Xbox? Probably not. Just for Starfield, some might, but it's a very small minority who has that kind of money to just throw around. But for them to go like, I can sign up for Game Pass for a month and maybe stream it through xCloud, or maybe even sign up for that and GeForce Now and play it over there, and realize, oh, hang on, this is pretty nice. I'm just gonna keep having this as a subscription on the side.
Right, but if Starfield is not exclusive to the Xbox platform, they don't need to do that, and then they just go to Target or wherever or PSN online and say, "Here's my $70. I'll take one Starfield for PS5, please."
Yeah, but
and
for
that
Microsoft,
never happens.
For Microsoft, that is either we get a new subscriber that sticks around for a couple of months, or maybe forever, which would be awesome, or we get a game sale. Either way, we win.
Yeah,
for that,
right.
like the
so exclusives are very important for Microsoft.
No, either way, because they win either way.
I don't think so either.
If Starfield is on PlayStation, that scenario doesn't even happen.
Yeah, because in that case, they instead get a game sale.
But so yeah, look at this. If we take Hogwarts, for instance,
I guess
if we take Hogwarts, I have so many guy friends that have a girlfriend that wanted to start playing video games. And we have so many people that started playing video games with Hogwarts, whatever it's, yeah.
Hogwarts.
They were like, oh, I'm a Harry Potter fan. I want to play this game. But if you have it on Game Pass, a game like that, where people can sign up and play on their TV or their phone or their toilet or their toaster for 3 months, that's a win. It's a bonus if it's an exclusive that you have to sign up if you want to play it. But I mean, it's a win if the customer, as an old computer shop salesman, I can say that it's easier to sell a subscription than to say you need a PS5 and you need the game, you need an extra controller, yada yada. So it's going to be $1,000 versus $30.
But guys, it's the data says that's not true. It's obviously easier to sell a PS5 and games for PS5. You just have to look at the numbers. I mean, yes, it is. PS5 is crazy outselling Xbox's subscriptions. That's why Xbox is lagging behind. Xbox is literally having this problem. That's why they have to go buy companies like Bethesda and Activision.
But the reason Xbox is for Xbox to go in a situation where they could just do this in the turn over the terms of a month, they would, but they can't because things are slow moving in this scale. But for them to go, we're not gonna do another console. Like a new PlayStation 6 drops, I guess gets announced. Everyone's looking at Xbox like, where's your console? They're gonna be no. We're gonna put all our games on Sony. We're gonna put all our games everywhere. we're gonna put Game Pass on PlayStation as a subscription you can buy in on. Suddenly they get the dev kits, they get the support from Sony that they currently don't have at all, and Sony gets a couple some percentage, and for them to go so Sony, instead of giving you 30% of the monthly subscription cost, what if we get we're bringing into you 100 games from our studios, because we are the biggest publisher in the world now. And we're bringing all of these games to you that you currently don't have. All of these older titles that you never got because they were Xbox exclusives. We'll bring Halo over to PlayStation 6 and make it backwards compatible as well. Why not? Can we get maybe you're
talking Fantasyland scenarios now, man. Halo on PlayStation.
I agree with Bjorn, because I think if you can have someone, if you can have someone supply the platform and you supply, you say, I have all the games. You're in a if you have a platform where you can play most of the games available, apart from Sony's or Nintendo's, but I mean you can play all the Fall Guys, Baldur's Gates, all the games. That's kind of a power move. Myself, I have all the platforms, and I work in retail, so I can buy the games at work, but I don't buy PS5 games. I think it's too expensive when I have Game Pass, and I get all my games from there. I don't play the Horizon Ragnarok games, but I miss out on them. But apart from that, I'm really happy. Yeah, Ray had something.
Okay, let me get into this, guys, because I have an Xbox.
Yeah, you have all of them.
I have a Game Pass subscription. But guess what? Spider-Man, Wolverine, I'm going to spend my money to get those games. Why? Because my son wants it. And guess what? I want it. Because I'm not going to be able to play that on Xbox. But I've in a way, I've saved, because on Xbox I have Game Pass.
Exactly.
I enjoy it and I love it.
If
there's some games, there is exclusive games that I want.
If there's
I'm gonna go buy it.
Like
Spider-Man. I'm gonna go buy Spider-Man.
Sony will keep doing amazing exclusives for decades to come, I'm sure.
Right.
So the thing for Microsoft is I'm pretty sure that I remember hearing Phil Spencer say this from his own mouth in an interview last winter, basically saying we looked at it and we could either see can we match the insane quality of exclusives that Sony puts out through buying studios or through making our own Halo and Fable. Can we match that both in terms of how often we release them, how good they are, and realized we pretty much can't, because they have built this up for decades. The PlayStation Studios has been around for so long, and they are insanely good at what they do. But what they can do is they can say if we didn't have if Xbox wasn't a platform at all, for you then as a consumer would be, so I bought this PlayStation, I have all the PlayStation exclusives, and I signed up for Game Pass to get another 300 of amazing games from maybe not S tier but AAA tier. And so now I have the best of two worlds, and I just bought one console. And for Xbox, they instead of selling their consoles at a loss or break even and having a massive R&D cost as well, and all of that, they can just release 5 new Xbox Studios games a month and do that every month, and just keep bringing in the money. Because if you look at how much money Game Pass is making today, in revenue. I think they've said I think the number said it was a third. They have about a 30% profit margin on Game Pass when they or something, or in general, and they so they make in terms of server costs and overhead. So they make on each tenner a month, they make about maybe let's say they make 5. They still make the budget they make a month. They make they could make 3 Cyberpunks a month with that budget, and but the thing is, Game Pass has reached to a point where they've saturated. There's no one else who has an Xbox who wants to sign up to Game Pass. PC, it is growing slightly on PC, but it's one of those people don't have enough hardware to maybe feel like the people gaming PCs are also quite saturated. The people without gaming PCs haven't really discovered cloud yet, but they will, and that hence the partnerships with Boostroy and DFN. And for them then to do so for next generation, they're not going to put out another Xbox, and instead they can push the Game Pass onto PlayStation. As long as they have there is an Xbox, Sony will never accept Game Pass as an offering on their service. But if there wasn't an competitive product, suddenly they can go to the table and say, you can bring your subscription over. They negotiate back and forth. Maybe you end up with 10% going of your monthly fee goes to Sony, the rest goes to Microsoft, and suddenly you have another 100 million possible consumers, and out of those you get maybe, so let's say you get 50 million or 70 million. That's still that's the kind of growth they want to reach. That's why they built the touch interfaces on Game Pass games, to get to the mobile market, because they need to grow Game Pass, and they have nowhere else to grow currently.
And they bought King.
They bought King, yes.
275 million players a month.
Yeah, they want to run games natively on mobile.
Yeah, that too. But
I don't know what any of this has to do with Xbox not caring about having exclusives. They absolutely care about having exclusives.
Because
if Xbox doesn't care about having exclusives, why isn't Starfield on PlayStation?
Because Starfield was that decision was made prior to this. That
decision was made to get people to get Game Pass and to get people to get Xboxes.
The decision was they said that they've realized that it was about to go PlayStation exclusive. They couldn't have that, so they bought all of it, and then
they didn't need to make it Xbox exclusive just because they bought it. They did it for a reason. That's the reason they did it. If they do not care about having exclusives as a business strategy, then why did they do it? For every new Bethesda IP that comes out, every single one that comes out is exclusive to the Xbox and PC platforms. It's part of their business strategy.
I think it's a big fuck you to Sony. Sorry, my language. Yeah. I think it's a huge fuck you, because Sony wanted Starfield.
Has nothing to do with business and making money. It's totally just to make a big giant statement.
I'm not saying console like Game Pass or consoles or Game Pass exclusives isn't bad for them currently, but looking long term, they want to stop doing exclusives. They want to get out of it, of the hardware business. So yes, right now it makes sense for them to make it exclusive, because
if they get out of the hardware business, they'll just do exclusives in the software business.
But if you don't,
they'll still have exclusives. If they don't have exclusives, people will just go buy Sony hardware and play Sony software. Because if I can buy Starfield on my PlayStation, I don't need Xbox. I don't need Game Pass.
No, but you
Kurt, if you can buy Ragnarok for $90 or $70 or whatever, or you can subscribe to Game Pass and get it for, how much is it, $10, $15 a month?
People will go buy it on PlayStation. You can look at the data. The PlayStation is winning. PlayStation is selling way more than Xbox. They sell way more games.
Yeah, but you're looking at the current. If you look at the concept of Ragnarok is, let's say Ragnarok, Game Pass is on PlayStation, and God of War 3 comes out. It comes out day one on Game Pass, PlayStation Game Pass, and also
Doom's on everything. Doom Eternal's on everything.
Let's use take Doom for example then. So Doom 3 comes out. It comes out everywhere. You can either buy it or you can subscribe to Game Pass. Game Pass is also everywhere. If someone buys Doom, that's not a loss for them. They didn't get a subscriber, but that's someone who wouldn't have subscribed anyway. Because it's like, if you as a consumer have the choice to buy or subscribe, then it's up to each and every one of you. So for them to to say if there wasn't Xbox hardware and it was just Game Pass, they wouldn't make sense to make something Game Pass exclusive, because the people who want to buy it won't subscribe just to try it out. They want to buy the game. So if let's say Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, probably next generation. Let's be honest. At the rates Bethesda's working, we're not getting. Let's say so Elder Scrolls 6 comes out as a launch title on the next generation. If we have a hypothesis where there isn't a next generation Xbox, there's just PlayStation and PC, then and they managed to get get it on, get the subscription on Xbox, PlayStation, then the consumer would be
not happening.
Well,
that's not happening.
I think
it'll be on Samsung. It's not happening
because for them,
I don't know if you didn't listen to like the 4 hours a day of that court case and what was said between the two parties. But there is no way hell will freeze over before Sony allows Game Pass on there. It's not
as long
happening.
as they are as a competitor in the hardware space. If there is an Xbox,
there will be competitors in the software space.
No, but if you're not a competitor, like, but then wouldn't you make the same argument about EA Play and like an EA game, an EA Play, like if the next Battlefield was exclusive to EA Play subscribers, that would make things.
Microsoft makes PC though, so they're always going to be making a game making machine. EA does not.
But at the same time, the PC is like, yes, Microsoft makes PC. The PC is just like, that's not hardware, that's just software. You can run that on anything. Like PC is like Windows as a platform is not hardware. The hardware is a separate, like,
as long as I can buy a game on PC instead of buying it for PlayStation will see me as a competitor. Like, it will see another place that you can buy that
PlayStation
game
doesn't
as
see
a
PC as a competitor to because this PC isn't console. Like, it's two different
then
things.
why don't they release their games day and date on PC?
Because they realize they can milk their consumers. That's why. Because Sony is a hardware company. They want to sell you PlayStations.
Same thing in different words.
No, but like, Sony wants to sell you PlayStations, so for them to release it a year later on PC, because then the people who really want to play the game will buy the PlayStation.
Yeah, like when they make when they make Final Fantasy or whatever a timed exclusive for a year, and then you can't get it on X. I can't think of the most recent example of that, but they've done this many times. Deathloop is a perfect example. It's the exact same thing. Xbox is a competitor. They go get the rights for Deathloop for a year. Well, everybody's going to buy it on PlayStation. And nobody's waiting a year to play that game. So they go buy it on PlayStation. They're doing the exact same thing to PC. But they're not going to give PC Spider-Man because it's competition. They want to sell all of the units on their hardware.
Yeah, Sony does. Microsoft doesn't.
Right.
Like, Microsoft is trying to stop doing that. And when Microsoft stops doing that, like, there isn't any, like, I mean, Sony will still keep doing it because they want to sell their hardware. So, but if Microsoft puts out Elder Scrolls 6 and that game can sell Sony hardware for them, awesome. Sony will happily take that. So Sony like, when there isn't an Xbox anymore.
I think Sony says good luck. They're gonna say we don't need Game Pass. People will buy our games on PlayStation.
I think that when Microsoft owns all the publishers and developers in the world except for Santa Monica Studio, they will have to say, okay.
At some point they come to the table.
Lena Khan, the FTC, will have something to say about that. So we don't need to worry about that. Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Microsoft's after this whole court debacle and like the CMA, Microsoft's gonna be able to go out and buy every other
they gotta lay low 2 years so that they can buy.
Microsoft won't be able to buy anything now.
They might get one more. They might get one more, and then they get the brakes pumped on them.
I think that's going to be difficult.
For the regulatory agencies to come in and argue to a judge, hey, they bought like 3 of these. This is the 4th one. They're becoming a giant monopoly. That's going to be hard for them to argue that.
For them to pick up an indie studio, though.
For them to pick up more studios is going to be hard.
Yeah, right. So then your vision of this Xbox, conglomerate that owns everything, that so they can leverage their way on the PlayStation.
They don't have to own anything.
Doesn't exist.
I mean, as long as you have Street Fighter 6 on Game Pass, and you have all the Sega games, you have everything licensed to be able to play. I mean, it will be the Netflix of gaming.
How would they be able to do that?
How? I mean, I guess you say to Capcom, put your games here and get this much money. get this.
Is that working? Does Game Pass have good Capcom games, or do they have Exoprimal?
No, I mean, Xbox.
That was just an example.
Like let's say a Swedish company, Paradox.
It's a good example.
Paradox makes excellent games, and they for the last 6 months to a year, all of their games have been coming day and date on Game Pass, and are still like City Skylines 2 is coming day and date on Game Pass, and the reason is a good relationship, and they like, hey Paradox, here's some money, we basically funded the entire development cycle of this game for you. So you've already break even on the game. Anything you sell is just pure profits. Can we put the game on Game Pass for the people who want to subscribe to it?
That's great for small. That's great for smaller games.
Paradox isn't
then
small, but they're pretty big.
I mean, compared to like Ubisoft and Activision. Activision told Xbox, give us more of a revenue share, or we're not even putting Call of Duty on Xbox.
And that's why they bought Activision.
Right, they can't do that for every scenario.
But yeah, and I mean, if you and that also comes down to like if like when Capcom releases then like Street Fighter 7, if there wasn't an Xbox console, then to make like to have revenue share on the ecosystem, they could just go like, yeah, so we want to put you on the subscription service. We'll pay for we'll give you the 50 million and then upfront, and then we'll give you another 50 if the game comes out and has a lot of players. I can see Capcom saying, "Yeah, sure, we can do that."
That's the model that they use now, and they get what they get, and it's not top tier stuff. It's above average stuff. It is decently good games. You're getting a good service when you subscribe to Game Pass, but they are not getting the cream of the crop.
Yeah, and they don't have to get the cream of the crop either to Game Pass to make it a good value proposition for. So what they currently just need is they already have a very good value proposition. They just need to get that into the hands of more potential customers.
Yeah.
And the
way to do that is to make sure that people can't play the game on
the way to do that is to shut down the Xbox hardware division and become a massive publisher on cross-platform publisher. That's the best way to do that. It's gonna take them 5 years to do it. So
when people want to play Call of Duty and comes into the store and asks, okay, how can I play Call of Duty? Yeah, you can play the PS5, or you can get Game Pass, or you can play it via cloud or whatever. I mean, there's more solutions than having a physical Xbox and a PS5 and buying physical or downloadable games. So I mean,
No, I'm sorry. I didn't know you weren't done. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm done.
I didn't mean to interject. And I'm bad about that. I apologize. I was gonna say, to your point earlier, PlayStation is attempting to and is being almost pretty successful, at least with their main hardware, with their PS5, at becoming Apple. I mean, PS5 is like the iPhone. I think I read somewhere that like 87% of people have an iPhone. Like, that's insane. Like, so that person isn't coming into the store. Yeah, that's fair. It's in the US. It's in the US. Sorry.
Sweden is also very high. I think in Sweden it's something like 60. But whereas in like I think in the UK it's probably, I think it's closer to 40. So it depends on.
So that person's walking into the store and they're not asking, what do I play Call of Duty on? They're like, can I buy a PS5 and Call of Duty today?
Yeah, and I mean that's where Jim Ryan is trying to get.
So what Xbox has to do is when somebody comes in and says, "Can I buy a PS5 and Starfield today?" and then the clerk tells them, "Oh, I'm sorry, Starfield's only available on Xbox, on Game Pass, and on PC." They say, "Oh, I guess I'll have to buy one of those." That's why they need exclusives.
Royadino says that's kind of mean to say that the PS5 is mediocre too. It's a fantastic hardware, and they are obviously doing something right. Myself, I'm not too keen on what they're pushing out after, like the PSVR 2 and now the Q and their Edge controller. I'm not sure I agree with their business.
Yeah, and wasn't the PS5 released before Jim Ryan's? Like that was not a Jim Ryan product. That was a Sean Layden, right?
I think so.
And then
I don't think that. I'm just going to be contrarian about everything. I'm pretty sure that Jim Ryan launched the PS5, but if it was Sean Layden,
I was
whatever.
joking because it was being compared to an iPhone.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, I agree. iPhones are below mediocre.
Ouch, man! We're gonna get people coming in here
like,
on it.
yeah, I'm not a fan of Apple products in general. But that's a personal preference.
I'm gonna expose Roy Adino now. He's a good friend. He's an ally owner too. You know him.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
PlayStation makes a fantastic product. That's why people buy it.
I love my PS5. It's great, but at the end of the day, like it is a what did I call it? Hang on. I guess I phrased it in
I think you said skitburk.
No, I didn't say it was a crappy thing.
That doesn't sound good.
Let's see here. I think I put it in the description of my review. There we go. That was a review of YouTube. What have you done?
I can't believe you've done this.
Yeah, so it's an absolute insane piece of technology, especially. But it has it's one of the it's. I came into the review being like, this is going to be amazing. The and it is an amazing piece of kit, but at the end of the day, it's amazing. However, it's kind of I would now that I have one. I won one, which is mine. So I'm I don't want to complain about it being not worth it because I paid nothing. But now that I have one, do I feel it would have been worth my money to spend money on and buy one for myself? No, I don't think to me the value isn't there. No, but that being said, it's fucking amazing. But it's not.
If you would buy an Xbox with Game Pass or a PS5 right now, which one would you buy?
I would pick up the that one where you pay monthly for Game Pass, but you pay a bit extra and get a Xbox. That
yeah.
But even then, that would be just to have for the games that doesn't come to cloud. Because obviously to me, now that I have cloud, it's why would I ever why would I go local if it wasn't for some specific use case, like an ROG Ally being a handheld that is a completely different use case, or a PC, because obviously that can give me a very different I can do video editing on it and streaming, and things like that. But for me to spend hard money on hardware specifically for gaming, a console, I would go with the Game Pass bundle, just because I love, as much as I love my PlayStation 5, it is, and as much as an amazing piece of technology it is still just a console.
Yeah.
Is the Xbox more?
No, but the Xbox is better value for money, because you get it's slightly cheaper when you get the Game Pass with it, and gives me a massive amount of games.
Well, so the thing is, I bought an Xbox at launch. I bought it that fall. When it came out, I bought the Series X, and I was very, very happy with it. And I made that decision based on what the marketing behind the two platforms was. Going back to what Matthias said earlier, the marketing around PS5 was very shrewd, very this is speaking to their shareholders. This is business strategic type of speak. That didn't really appeal to me, and a lot of the choices they were making didn't seem consumer friendly or consumer centric. The Xbox was the contrary. It seemed like they were doing things for consumers, and they promised to bring a lot of features and a lot of games. And so I was feeling very, very hype about Xbox when I bought it, and that was pervasive, going all the way up until maybe the turn of the year into 2023. And now as this console is about to turn 3 years old, we kind of just have the same thing that we had when the Series X launched. They preached a vision, they preached goals, they preached promises. They haven't failed to deliver on those promises, but they haven't manifested them yet. And the PlayStation's out here alive and kicking and putting out good games Forbidden West and Ragnarok and other stuff.
Yeah,
and Spider-Man
they are
around the corner.
The PS5 and the library they put out is amazing, in the old order of the world, so to speak. And I think going forward, I think things are about to change drastically.
They keep saying that. They said that 5 years ago, and
yeah, I think it's
status quo, baby. I mean, like,
however,
Xbox can say that
we've been going for 2 hours, and we need to start wrapping up because it's midnight here, and Ray has to drop soon as well.
Tired of hearing Kurt. No,
no. So we have a bunch of news we're not going to go over because let's just save that for next week, maybe, I guess. So before we go into the proper round out of things, I do want to shout out one of my most anticipated games that's not Baldur's Gate, that released earlier today because I love it so much. Stray Gods, the role-playing musical, is out today, and as much as I wish they sponsored me, they haven't. But still,
this is like the Greek mythology thing, right?
It's a Greek, the Greek gods live among us in modern day. You play as Grace, a singer in a band, and one of the muses of the Greek world drops dead on your doorstep and gives you her powers, and you're investigated for her murder that you didn't commit. So you have 1 week to prove yourself. The thing is, it plays very close to a Telltale game, and those are always fun.
Life is Strange type of
Life is Strange kind of thing. But all of the dialogue choices and the branching narrative happens during during musical numbers, like Broadway style musical numbers. The music is amazing. It's written by Austin Wintory and I think they call it Treehouse or Treefall, an Australian group of songwriters. And the script is written by David Geider, who wrote Dragon Age, an ex-BioWare alumni. And I mean, just take a look at the voice cast. You have Laura Bailey, Troy Baker, Mary Elizabeth McGlynn, Janina Gavankar, Carrie Payton. I mean, Felicia Day, Roll Cooley, Erika Ishii, Ashley Johnson. Like there's some massive names in voice acting in this game, and it's just apparently takes about 6 hours to play. So and like I've played the first hour, it's amazing. So definitely worth checking that one out.
Awesome, great shout. Yeah, they had a trailer at Summer's Game Fest that looked really cool as well.
It looks really cool.
It showed really well. Yeah.
And also I wanted to show off this thing that Matthias found. You can Asus has a competition going where you can win a Rogue ally by simply, if you have one, you can win prizes by posting things on social media, and if you don't have one, you can, and tagging it with the hashtag and their handles. And if you don't have one, you can win one by interacting with these posts.
Yeah. I would suggest that someone makes an ally out of cardboard, and
that's a good call, right?
Yeah,
ally Labo.
Yeah, and you tag it. Where is my ally? Seriously, where is it? That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Rokk, did you like that one, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you can win. I mean, you can win it's a great prizes. So I think this is the prizes if you have one. If you have an ally, you can win the.
I would kill for that RGXG mobile.
So the external GPU for the ally, you have also the tablet, right? I think this is, or is it the screen?
It's a portable monitor.
Portable monitor. So portable monitor, portable external GPU for some wireless headphones. 3 months of PC Game Pass is also up for grabs for winning. If you have an ally, if you don't have an ally, up to 5 allies will be awarded to fans who share the announcement post. So if you, like me, don't have any money for an ally, but really want one,
Ray, do this. You can win one for Christmas.
That would be nice.
A win can't beat that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, get the kids to draw one on a paper. Like use your fantasy, and your imagination, you can win it.
Yeah.
All right.
Great shout. But Ray, what do you have going on in your life? What's next on the channel? What people should
I think the next game I'm streaming is going to be I do Wreckfest on Saturday, and then we'll see. Probably it might be BG3, or there's also another game that came out that nobody's talking about, and I think that's what the Remnant 2.
Yeah, Remnant 2.
Yeah.
And so it'll probably be one of those games. But it's been awesome, man. Awesome panel, awesome chat. I also want to send a huge shout out to Ninja Guy X. Just want to let him know how much I appreciate everything he's done on the Rokk brand, off the Rokk brand, on Twitter, in the community. Thank you, Ninja Guy X. Just want to put that out there.
Yeah. So if you didn't know, Ninja X has announced that he will be putting content creation on the shelf and stop doing it because for personal reasons, which is, I mean, hat off to even make like feeling you can make that decision. That's a big step to take. Right. And also, you will still see him pop around on this show every now and then as a guest whenever he feels like it. He's always welcome on. And also, he and I are going to continue to do Hear Me Out, the video game podcast that we do together with Purple Haze. That's still gonna keep on happening. But yeah, so I agree with you, Ray. Shout out to Ninja X. He's awesome. Yeah, so awesome. And also welcome back from Hawaii, man.
Thank you.
To have you back.
Yeah. Thank you. People think I'm on Maui and I'm on fire, but no, I was on Oahu. I'm okay. I didn't burn down and my plane didn't crash. I'm okay.
Yeah, awesome. Matthias, what's happening in the world of the Ally?
I'm doing a few videos. I think I'm doing one video on Wallpaper Engine to show how you can have these really awesome animated wallpapers. Works for any computer, obviously. And then I'm doing a video on Quake 2 Enhanced that was released today. It runs super well on any computer. And then I think I'm doing a video on G-Helper and Handheld Companion. So I got a few videos coming. And then it's back to work next week, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's always not fun to. I mean, you can love work however much you want, but going back to work from vacation is always rough, even if you love your work.
Yeah. So yeah.
Awesome, Kirk. What's happening over your place?
So it's What's New Video Games is the channel, and it's not live yet, but if people are watching this on Friday or over the weekend, got a Marvel Stat video going up, diving into the new season and the new card docking. I've got a special deck that's a load of fun, so we're trying to go through Conquest with that. And then, yeah, if you subscribe, then I've got videos coming out for a couple of football games coming out. We got Gourd releasing soon. We got Immortals of Avium coming out soon, and then also trying to get a Pikmin video as well. And Goat Simulator 3 is a wrench to throw in there. So a lot of videos coming out. If I can put my nose to the grindstone, and that is the intention. So subscribe for great content, I guess.
Yeah.
What's New Video Games? Was it?
It was, yes.
Yeah.
We had to throw the what's on there because New Video Games was just getting absolutely buried. If you type in New Video Games to YouTube, you have no shot. Yeah, no shot. So through the what's on there.
Names can be hard. Like finding your brand, that's not easy.
The SEO train is
that sucks. You should be called from work if you're on your vacation. That's
no.
Yeah. If you're a manager, don't do that.
Shout out to everybody in the chat.
Massive chat. Like chat's been crazy today. I think at one point I had 40 messages that I hadn't even taken a look at. I was like trying to showcase all of the messages from chat into the stream. Like,
shout out to Cowboy for stopping by as well.
Yeah, and also massive shout out to Cowboy.
That was fun.
Cowboy Entertainment.
It's always fun when it drops in. So as for myself, I've started a new channel in the last 3 weeks on the side, which is like not gaming at all. Basically, my wife decided got tickets to the Taylor Swift concert in May here in Stockholm, and we got a spare ticket. And I said, yeah, I'll go with you. And then she said, but then you got to become a fan of her music. I'm like, yeah, sure. And I realized, what if I did YouTube videos reacted to Swift music? And I've done that, and it's going insanely well. I think I've up to over 700 subscribers already in 3 weeks.
It's going so fast.
Yeah, I think next week I'm probably gonna be monetized on that channel. I've been working on my gaming channel for 2 years. I'm still not even halfway through. I'm about halfway. It's insane.
In a year, you'll have 65,000 subscribers and live on that, and you will have to think what you're gonna do after that concert.
Yeah. Like, what do I do after the concert? Like that was gonna be weird.
Well, you said Taylor Swift, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a fan of metal and video music. So for me, it's been interesting to dive into and like analyze her music on videos. But it's a lot of fun.
She's doing a Taylor's version of 1989. So that's what you do.
Yeah.
After
I mean, I have like, dude, I have like 400 songs to cover. I have plenty of. I have my work cut out for me, and now people are like, hey, you gotta do a reaction of the like 1.5 hour Netflix show documentary. Like, I'm probably gonna watch it, but I'm not gonna like, I don't have time to react to it and like make a video on it. That's gonna be like, I don't have that time. But people apparently want it. But yeah, it's been insane. I think I amassed like 70,000 views in 3 weeks.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Like you found your calling.
And I was like, hey, and also check out my gaming channel. I think I have like 2 people coming over so far. But hopefully it can
maybe not a giant conversion rate among the Swifties.
But I mean, there's
a
little bit of interest of crossing over, of course. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. So if by any chance one of those Swifties see this, hi. But yeah, and then as for my gaming channel, I'm gonna keep doing that. And for the gaming channel, next week I'm planning to get started with the Dragonbane live play tabletop RPG that both Ray and Matthias will be part of. I hope we'll talk more about the exact day after. I'm hoping we can do maybe Tuesday. Tuesday nights for a couple of weeks, and that's gonna be really cool. Obviously playing a lot of BG3, gonna try to stream that. Also Stray Gods. I got a review key yesterday, so it's been a lot of fun to playing it ahead of time and gonna try to get a review out. Otherwise, I have that's my backlog right now. Baldur's Gate 3, Stray Gods. I have intentionally made sure I don't have anything else on my schedule because I don't think I can make content on anything else for quite a while. Hopefully, I have something out on any of those games before Starfield drops and ruins my life even more. It's a crazy year.
Yes.
Starfield as well. Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, Dragonbane and Baldur's Gate as well, and Stray Gods. So yeah, we also chat with you guys. I love having you all here. Thank you so much to chat as well for being on more fire than ever. I don't think chat's ever been this active. I'm gonna have to ask Rokk for the exact numbers, because I think this might be a new record. And yeah, we'll see you same time, same place next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.